Holy shit. Now, fair warning, folks. You might be needing this. Make sure you're prepared. Yeah, no, I don't understand what that meant either. Remember about a month ago, the FSD V12 end-to-end demo, where I was nutting left, right, and center for the next 3 or 4 weeks of videos every fucking day? Hey, holy shit, what the hell, bro? This is huge. Remember that? Guess what? They've done it again with the humanoid robot. The demo we have just seen, Tesla's humanoid robot, which according to many haters is just a stock pump, not a real product, and never will be. You know where this is going, right? I know some of you have already figured it out. This has been trained the same way V12 FSD was. Pure end-to-end video. This is huge. Of course, it was to be expected. As I've mentioned in the past, the brain Tesla has developed for their self-driving vehicles can, in essence, be transplanted straight into the humanoid robot. It was only a matter of time before this happened. But just like Tesla's now blown open the path to solving autonomy with superhuman capabilities, no more obvious obstacles in the way. Whereas prior to now, with 300,000+ lines of code, as in heuristics, as in instructions and information, there were a lot of unknown unknowns. The same is now true of the Tesla humanoid robot. We're going to watch this video in detail, talk about the potential implications, and do a deep dive into the absolutely absurd possibilities for Tesla's humanoid robot expanding the global labor market and its possible impact on Tesla this decade and beyond. And I wasn't joking, guys. Make sure you're ready. And while you're preparing, don't forget if you guys would like access to exclusive content, early access to my daily YouTube uploads, my Tesla valuation model, my full health protocol, check out the links in the pinned comment. You can also support the channel even if you don't give a shit about that extra content by using the same links. So here we are over on X, where everything that happens first. From the official Tesla Optimus account, which I guess I probably should follow by now. Boom. Optimus can now sort objects autonomously. Its neural network is trained fully end-to-end. Video in, controls out. Now, if you know, you know, and if you know, I'll give you a few moments to clean up. Clearly, Tesla recruiting heavily for their Optimus team. Come join to help develop Optimus and improve its yoga routine. So let's watch this video in detail. First caption here, Optimus is now capable of self-calibrating its arms and legs. By the way, that's also what humans do. All right, so we've got to stop here. I do want to stress, this is an emergent ability that has emerged, again, keyword emerged, from being trained on nothing but video. This is a stunning moment. And pay close attention to the gentle, soft touch of the hand, the dexterity. This is one of the most difficult challenges, I believe. Obviously, vision's number one, but Tesla's already well on the way to solving that. But to be able to manipulate objects, human hands are absolutely stunning pieces of evolution. I mean, God did it. I'm going to burn in hell for saying evolution, aren't I? So as we know, God created perfect human hands on the, what day was it? The 69th day, something like that. It's very difficult, this challenge, because a hand needs to be able to gently manipulate, sense pressure, not squeeze too hard, too soft, and so on. And we'll talk more about this in a moment. In fact, let's rewind a little bit and just focus on the soft touch of the Optimus hand. So, who wants a job at Tesla working on this humanoid robot? A couple of things I'd like to discuss here. And again, I have to emphasize, end-to-end video. If you know, you know. Unlike, say, for example, what we see with Boston Dynamics, where you might see some robots dancing in sync to a song, who knows how many takes it took, every instruction, every movement is programmed into those robots. However, the Tesla humanoid robot is completely different. It can learn tasks, not based on being pre-programmed with every millimeter down to precise movement. Move here, then turn this. None of that shit is programmed in. It's learning by example and by doing, just like humans. Now just imagine for a moment a Tesla Optimus bot working in a Tesla factory, doing a few basic tasks, 24 hours a day, no need for breaks, boring, repetitive, dangerous, unsafe, etc. Of course, would this be an awkward time to mention the UAW currently encouraging its members to strike at GM, Ford, etc., asking for absurd, financially catastrophic pay increases the companies simply won't be able to afford? And as a result, those employees will be fired and or replaced with robots. A lot of people who don't really understand how what Tesla's doing differs from companies like Boston Dynamics might see this demo and go, oh, bro, Boston Dynamics have been doing that for years. But again, the thing I want to stress here, this is happening via a completely different mechanism. The same processes that human beings use to learn how to interact with and move throughout the world. This bad boy or girl, or hey, who knows, it's 2023, probably identifies as a fucking horse. The progress since Optimus Bot was first unveiled is stunning. It's gone from clunky as fuck, early prototype, to incredible balance. Look at this. Half the people watching couldn't do this without falling flat on their face. Try it. Dare ya. Pause the video. Pull this pose off now, and obviously if you do a bit of yoga, different story, but everyone else is going to have a hard time with this. This really is a holy fucking shit moment for two massive reasons. What we've just seen was a humanoid robot, an intelligent humanoid robot. It's probably surpassed an average alt seller already. Still a long way to go though. Trained purely on end-to-end video, capable of learning tasks, just like a human. As I mentioned, end-to-end is the ultimate path to superhuman capabilities for both FSD/autonomy and the humanoid robot. Prior to then, there's still a lot of unknown unknowns. Now the path is clearly lit. Don't get me wrong, it'll still take data and time, and plenty of training compute. But the degree of uncertainty as to whether or not this can be accomplished now seems it's just a matter of time. So key takeaway number one, no heuristics. Holy shit. And number two, in fact, allow me to refer to a post I made on X when it was still called Twitter, responding to an early iteration of the Optimus hands. Superhuman hand job ability is the benchmark. I am not joking about this. It is the ultimate execution combining everything that matters in a useful hand. And I really am not joking. Back to the demo. Does anybody notice anything that might indicate that Optimus is on the verge of being able to deliver a superhuman hand job? Not that that's the only thing that matters, nor the primary intent of this bot, but there is no better benchmark for the ability to manipulate objects, right? I mean, if I'm wrong, please, what is a better benchmark than that? Seriously. And a side note, isn't it going to be ironic? A lot of Tesla short sellers will ultimately end up with their own Optimus bot for, well, I'm sure you can fill in the blanks. I'm absolutely stunned at how delicate and dexterous the Optimus hand is already. Now, there's still plenty of room to go, but there's a lack of clunkiness here. This really matters. As I mentioned, the big challenge, other than vision, which Tesla's already mostly solved, was the hand. Tesla now has the two necessary pieces of the puzzle to make this thing useful at scale. Oh, but remember, Tesla is just a car company and the bot's obviously just a stock pump that they don't actually intend on producing. So before we get to the numbers, let's just take a quick moment here because I really want this point to sink in. This is insanely bullish. The two ingredients necessary for massively expanding the global labor market with useful humanoid robots. One, vision, as in perception, planning, and action. This is almost solved thanks to Tesla first developing this in their vehicles and now being able to transplant it into the humanoid robot. The shift to end-to-end video training is a massive milestone and completely blows it open. It's now just a matter of more data, more training, and more time. No more roadblocks, no more local maximums, at least not that I'm aware of. And number two, superhuman hand job capability. This clearly is approaching fast. The demo shows incredible dexterity, soft touch, and the ability to manipulate objects. With more training, it's only a matter of time. And the rate of progress on Optimus Bot is insane. What was it, like 2 years ago this thing was first unveiled? A really clunky demo, couldn't even stand up on its own. And now this, doing yoga poses and manipulating objects. Better than a toddler. Don't sleep on Tesla Bot. Optimus changes everything, and I mean everything. Whenever I encounter somebody with SBS, I like to show them this graphic. We're looking at world GDP over the last 2 millennia. Clearly it's a bubble and it's going to pop, right? Look, nothing can go up like that forever. It's a bubble. How do we short world GDP? Idiots. Seriously. Now, this is a linear chart. Let's change it to log. Ready? It looks almost the fucking same. This is very important because often We're going to get to the numbers in a moment, and some of you are going to have a gut reaction. Bro, what are you fucking talking about? That's impossible, don't you know? And then you're going to start thinking, the GDP of this country is only this much. The GDP of the world is only this much. That's impossible. That could never possibly happen. What we are seeing right now is innovation, progress, population growth, and ultimately useful labor distilled into a single chart. Technology has allowed us to be much more useful, much more productive, the spread of knowledge, technology, and so on, and a growing world population. Okay? These are the factors that have driven world GDP to go full fucking vertical over the last 2,000 years. So, when we start talking numbers, if your intuition is, that's not possible, and then you start trying to compare to things that have occurred in the past, I just want you to remember this on screen now. Let it sink in. And be prepared then to tell me exactly where on this chart this trend is going to reverse. So, let's talk numbers. Speaking of, if you're a supporter on Patreon at the investor level and above, you'll already know the numbers. At least some of the scenarios I believe are possible because the Tesla bot has been in my valuation model from day one. If you'd like to follow along now, pause the video, head over to Patreon, join at the investor level and above, download a copy and we can run through it together. This is of course the very same valuation model that from day one in 2021 when first published had Tesla FSD licensing, which we now know is a thing. Tesla has now confirmed that they've been in talks with the major automotive manufacturer to license FSD, and now Elon is on the record saying we will license FSD to others if they want it. What a coincidence. The same valuation model that also had the first Tesla robotaxi beginning operation in 2024. And I still believe we are on track. That estimate remains unchanged. Of course, I also have the first Tesla bot sales occurring in that valuation model. But if you want to know exactly when that is, well, you'll have to head over to Patreon. But I can tell you, based on this latest development, my estimate remains unchanged. What a coincidence. Must have been another lucky guess. For real though, if you want to see some of these assumptions, check out the valuation model. And just before we look at these numbers, remember, in Walter Isaacson's recent biography of Elon Musk, Walter disclosed that Elon, in conversation with Walter, not Elon telling Walter, hey, put this in the book. He was just casually mentioning to Walter that he believes in the future, Tesla, the company, will be doing $1 trillion in annual profits, not revenue, profits. $1 trillion in annual profits, which lines up perfectly with my own estimates. What a surprise. Again, please see my valuation model.
Oh, so that's why he's buying Tesla stock with every spare cent. I finally figured it out, because he thinks the Tesla bot's actually real. What a dumbass.
So let's look at some hypothetical numbers. And just for the record, the numbers we're going to look through here aren't actual estimates. If you want to see what I actually believe in the bear case, the base case, the bull case, and the hyper bull case scenario, head over to Patreon, join at the investor level and above, and have a peek at my Tesla valuation model. I just want to illustrate a point. The significant impact a useful humanoid robot could have, not only on the world, but obviously, as a result, on Tesla's bottom line. Imagine in a single year, Tesla sells 1 million useful humanoid robots, each for $25,000 a pop. Simple math on that, that's $25 billion in revenue. Assuming a 25% gross margin on the hardware, the bot itself, that's $6.3 billion in gross profit. And we'll also assume that Tesla's been selling bots for a while. They didn't just make $1 million in year one, meaning there's a bot fleet in total of 10 million Tesla bots in action, each paying $200 per month for AGI. And yes, by the way, this will be necessary. A robot without software, very expensive paperweight and or something for the Tesla Q virgins to soothe their loneliness with. Let's leave it at that. So everyone who buys a Tesla bot is going to subscribe to the software package to enhance its capabilities, and its capabilities will improve and get better over time. I'm calling this AGI because ultimately that's what it will become. Just like Tesla's full self-driving, it's been called full self-driving from day one, even before it was capable of fully self-driving. Don't be surprised if this is the actual product name. So at $200 per month, a fleet of 10 million users, each paying $200 per month, 12 months of the year, that's $24 billion in revenue from the software. $24 billion. Assuming an 80% gross margin on the software, I mean, it is after all just software. I think this could actually be on the low side. It could be actually closer to 90+%, maybe a 95 or more. The AGI gross profit, almost $20 billion. Total revenues, nearly $50 billion. Total gross profit, about $25 billion. And for the purposes of this back of the envelope model, I'm using a net profit of 75% of gross profit to account for some expenses along the way. Net profit, almost $20 billion, based on a fleet of just 10 million bots, including 1 million bot sales that year. Now, let's see how fucking ridiculous things get. By the way, $19 billion is more profit than Tesla will make this year. Imagine 10 million bot sales. All the numbers are the same, except the fleet has scaled to 100 million useful Tesla bots. And by the way, at some point, this is inevitable. Just like at some point, it's inevitable Tesla will have over 100 million vehicles on roads. It's just a matter of when, not if, but when. Skipping to the juicy part, we're looking at close to $200 billion in net profit. Should I do the next one? You dare me? Yeah, let's do it. Now, I know a lot of people are freaking out. Again, these are not my actual estimates. I am just trying to make a point. However, and again, if you want to see my actual estimates, that's what the Tesla valuation model is for. Let's see what happens. Just hypothetically. And remember, if Tesla does solve AGI or close to it and can produce a useful humanoid robot that can do useful labor, remember that earlier example of world GDP over time? Useful labor is a limiting factor to productivity. I personally believe that should Tesla solve this and actually be able to produce a useful humanoid robot that can do useful labor, in theory, they could literally sell, wait for it, billions per year. And again, I know people are freaking out. Feel free to laugh me off the internet, but please explain to me why. From first principles, that is not true. Please just tell me why. There are already billions of humans today providing useful labor. And if there were more humans, there would be more humans doing useful things. Let's do the next number. Make sure you got something to clean up. With a fleet of 1 billion Tesla humanoid robots, including sales of 100 million a year, and again, when could it be possible that Tesla could have 1 billion humanoid robots out there? Skip again to the juicy part. That's nearly $2 trillion in net profit. Now again, this isn't a prediction of what will happen, but I tell you what, if Tesla could produce 100 million of these things in a single year, they would sell them, and they would have a fleet obviously well in excess of 100 million, since that was just 1 year of sales. Okay, and now for the really fun part. Again, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but what if it does? And you'll notice I don't have any dates here. I'm not making predictions about the exact timing, but for fun, let's just do it. This is so ridiculous. Just imagine, there's approximately 1 Tesla humanoid robot for every 1 human on Earth today, roughly. A fleet size of 10 billion humanoid robots. Now, is this out of the question? I don't think so. I think that most humans would find use for a humanoid robot companion, nanny, babysitter, someone to do the errands, cook, clean, maybe even clean the pipes, not judging. This is definitely a possibility, although far from a certainty. But just imagine that there's roughly a 1-to-1 ratio of humans to bots. Keeping in mind, best estimates for human population, it's likely to plateau somewhere around that 10 billion humans, currently about 8. So just a 1-to-1 ratio, that's the way to think about it. 1 humanoid robot for every 1 human. That'd be 10 billion. Net profit of almost $20 trillion. But Stephen, that's impossible. Don't you understand world GDP? Remember, I knew that was going to happen. And yeah, I ain't saying this is what will occur. I'm just saying, what if it does? What if something close to this happens? What if at some point Tesla gets to 10 million bot sales per year? After all, they're already around 2 million vehicle sales per year. No one thought that was possible. They're aiming for 20. And unlike vehicles, where there's a finite number of vehicles needed, because there's a finite number of people and miles traveled, humanoid robots that can do useful labor completely upend this. There's no limit. If they provide useful labor, these things expand the global labor market. They create their own market. It's very important to understand that. If you're a business owner, let's just say hypothetically, you buy it for 25 grand, costs you another $1,200, so call it all in, less than $30,000 for the hardware and the first year of AGI. And then after that, you're not paying for the hardware again. It's just a monthly subscription, just over $1,000 for something that can do useful labor. Compared to hiring a person, maybe you're paying them $75,000, $80,000, $100,000 all in per year. Do the math. If it can do useful labor, can work 2 to 3 shifts in a single day versus a human who can only do about 8 hours, doesn't need breaks, etc., people will be buying these things hand over fucking fist. And imagine how useful these things will be in aged care. Or what about as a nanny, babysitter, cook, chef, housekeeper? Bro, the potential of this thing is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Decades from now, although many folks watching won't be, this video will still be around. My closing message, don't sleep on Tesla Bot. This thing, if successful, will utterly dwarf every other aspect of Tesla's business. Yes, that includes autonomy, robo-taxis, energy, and the vehicle business itself. In fact, if successful, Tesla's humanoid robot will be the biggest disruption since language. I'll tell you what, these things would be pretty useful for building out a colony on another planet too. There is a reason I continue to buy Tesla stock with every spare cent. Having call options on stuff like a humanoid robot? Bro, I don't know where else to find a better risk-adjusted opportunity, but hey, that's just me. Keep an eye on the rate of progress on Tesla's humanoid robot. I think it's going to surprise. And remember, if you'd like to see my actual assumptions in the bear case, the base case, the bull case, and even the hyperbull case for Tesla's humanoid robot, at least over this decade, head over to Patreon, join at the investor level and above, and have a look at the valuation model. That's what it's there for. Athletic Greens AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. Athletic Greens AG1 is an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a fuck ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. Certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point. It's something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, snake oil salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. And remember, there is a 90-day money-back guarantee. There's nothing to lose here. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon. And don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.